The Dating Show, brought to you by olderdatingonline.com.
Now, a survey suggests 85% of men would groom their bodies to please their partner. Nearly 2/3 believe women prefer them to be fuzz-free, with the chest and back among the most popular areas to manscape.
Right.
Have you ever heard of this word, manscape?
No, I mean, it was new today, and I gave it a little look, and all sorts of things came up, so I'm not really sure.
You've had a traumatic morning with this
cartoons,
research.
the lot, yeah.
But apparently on this manscaping thing, around 2/3 of men polled didn't know how to and were too embarrassed to actually ask about it. So we are looking at men and the way they're looking after themselves and what women want on the dating show today. As Katie's just explained, we were going to look at chest hair, but it didn't really work with our research. It freaked you out a bit.
I mean, it came up with women prefer it bare, and I was like, you know what, this could go really wrong, so I'm not going to click any further.
So we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
I think generally some women do, some women don't. I think that's probably what we can ascertain from that. Katie, with you, rough or ready, or smooth or silky in a man? Do you prefer your man to look good, or do you prefer the rough and ready builder look?
I think this is the first time anyone's actually asked me this, but I'd probably go rough and ready.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine.
On that dodgy note.
On that note, we'll end the show. Right. Okay. So let's have a look at this. So let's take because beards and stubble, they're very, very trendy at the moment. So what's the general consensus? Do women like beards? Do they like stubble? Do they like a man to be clean shaved? Does it depend on what have we come up with?
Well, research has shown that it actually depends on what you're looking for. So stubble won overall. It was apparently the most attractive. Stubble got the highest ratings for flings and short-term relationships.
Nice.
Well done. Ka-ching! Whereas full beards were attractive to women looking for more long-term relationships. And I think that comes down to, the beards probably you look a bit more tough, you probably looks like you can provide more, that more macho sense. So maybe that's what it kind of comes down to, the difference between stubble and full beards.
Okay. So, but when we're talking about full, we're not talking about sort of a foot long.
We're not talking about Gandalf. We're talking about like a full nicely neated beard,
right.
I would say.
I suppose it's got to be trim and sort of shaped.
Yeah.
Not sort of rough and scraggy like.
Not wild, no.
Not wild, right? Okay. And again, the stubble needs to be sort of looked after.
Yeah, neat. I would say.
Okay. All right. Well, that's sorted out. What about grey hair? Because a lot of men are starting to go grey. Is that popular with women? Is that what women are looking for, or do they prefer men to have sort of, brown or blonde hair or whatever?
Well, it was actually quite surprising because I thought it would go brown or whatever. But actually it was saying that women like men with grey hair because it makes them look more rugged and sophisticated. And sometimes they like it and prefer it because to their normal hair colour, which I found quite interesting. I mean, George Clooney, Silver Fox, I can understand that completely. Yeah. So I think it obviously depends on the woman, but it was quite interesting because they say actually they do have these better, they can look more sophisticated, and I do agree with that actually.
And I think the point we're trying to make on this is that women do appreciate a man who actually looks after himself.
Oh, definitely.
Whether it's his hair, whether it's his his clothes, or stubble or beard, you've got to sort of put a bit of time and effort in there. Yeah,
because then it comes across that you look after yourself and therefore you can look after her. I think that's ultimately what it's down to.
Because if you can't even look after yourself...
Good luck!
Can I just ask you one thing as well? Because I was talking to somebody the other day, and I sort of said, I said, what's the most... when it comes to men, what's the first thing you look at? And I was thinking, well, it's surely the face or something like that. And she said, it's the shoes.
Oh, no, I'm not the shoes.
It's the shoes.
That would be really rude to just be like, hi. Love your shoes.
But then I said, why are shoes on a man so important? And she was, well, it's just, if they've got good shoes, it does show, they've got something about them.
Yeah, I think it does make you think that they've got that extra level of, they want to look after themselves as well. and also they take the time to look after themselves and invest money into how they look and, I don't know, respect themselves a bit more.
And just turning this the other way, so I think men, we'll look at this in another show, but I think men generally like women with nice hair, nice nails, etc., etc.
Yeah, I think,
a man likes a woman to look after herself as well. Bit of makeup, not too much.
And I think it's for exactly the same reasons. So, they clearly respect themselves, look after themselves, want to look good, and then therefore you kind of bounce off that and shows that they will look after you too.
Good. Excellent.
Bingo.
Okay, well, we'll look at that side of stuff in another show. But thanks very much. That's
worries.
Interesting. Thank you. And get your nails done.
Yeah.
The Dating Show, brought to you by olderdatingonline.com.